Well, in anticipation for precipitation, they stacked chips here at UConn. They got 11 titles, and they're looking for another one on a rainy night in Stores, lining up for the final home game of Paige Beckers at UConn as her championship chase continues. On the other side, it's the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, lacing them up, ready to take a run at the biggest win in school history. Standing room only at Gamble Pavilion tonight for one last look at a Husky legend. It's Paige Beckers and the 2-seed UConn facing mid-major powerhouse South Dakota State. How these two teams got here into the second round? Well, Saturday the Huskies rolled a dominant performance in a 69-point first-round win. And for the Jacks, one of just two upsets in the opening round. They knocked out Oklahoma State for their 20th win in a row. So the winner here tonight is off to Spokane and a date with Oklahoma in the Sweet 16. So far, all the 1s and 2 seeds have advanced to the Sweet 16. We've got 2 more to go tonight. Hi, everybody, and welcome courtside. I'm Beth Mowens, along with the Naismith Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. This last month of the season for this UConn club, they have been absolutely dominant. In fact, ESPN Analytics B says they are now the team to beat in this tournament.
UConn is playing their best basketball of the season. They are on their ascent, and they are playing terrific on both ends of the floor. And you saw that in their first round meeting with Arkansas State. They got it done on both ends. 13 blocks, 12 steals in that game. They had tremendous balance and efficiency on the offensive end, draining 13 threes on the day. They had 3 players score 20 or more points. Simply looked like one of the best teams in the country.
And as good as they have been throughout their NCAA tournament history, almost unbeatable here at home. They have won 53 straight tournament games over the last 32 seasons. So a tall task today for South Dakota State, but they are poised, they are experienced, they are confident, and if they are going to pull off one of the biggest upsets in the history of the postseason, it's going to be from the firm of Meyer and Meyer.
Yeah, their inside-out combination is going to have a terrific game today. And we'll start with Brooklyn Meyer. This is a young woman who really came alive in the second half of their first-round matchup with Oklahoma State. And then Paige Meyer, their point guard. She is the one that makes them go, has the basketball in her hands, needs to take care of it well today, and also look for her offense. These two combined for 35 points in that first round matchup.
And there you see the numbers for Brooklyn and Paige. They also do it on the glass, and Meyer flirted with a triple-double on Saturday, hoping that this is not her final game in a Jackrabbit jersey. They have 6 NCAA tournament wins over the years on their resume. They have a Division II national championship from 2003. And they are ready to go in a raucous Gamble Pavilion for a spot in the Sweet 16. They have been there one time before. For UConn, they are trying to go for their 31st year in a row. And it's Caitlin Chen passing it off to Paige Beckers. Big Monday night coming your way with Beckers, followed by Juju Watkins and USC. They are up next.
South Dakota State starting in a man-to-man defense. UConn going right to Paige Beckers on the block for the first possession.
They are all upperclassmen in the Capital One starting lineup for the Jackrabbits. Madison Mathewitz was huge in the second half on Saturday with some clutch free throws in the final minute to seal the upset. And the starting 5 for Connecticut finally all together and all healthy. Azzi Fudd in her first game in the tournament in 3 years dropped 27 in the Saturday win. And the triple is good for Mathewitz.
Nice job by Paige Meyer. Dribble penetration got Paige Beckers to take a step towards her. That gave Mathewitz the open look at the 3.
Eric Bruton, Angela Enland, and Talissa Green are officiating crew tonight. Here is Beckers, and now Azzi Fudd. They exploded out of the locker room to start Saturday, and a block shot inside from Mesa Byam. AZ Fudd picks off the Meyer pass, and AZ will push the other way, and a foul, and it looks like they're going to get a block underneath on the Jackrabbits. Gino Auriemma, season number 40, celebrated his 71st birthday this weekend, and now they're going to switch the call to a charge on Fudd for first. And of course for Gino, #1 all-time in wins, #1 all-time in NCAA tournament wins. Pull up mid-range from Timmer. And the rebound for the sensational freshman Sarah Strong. Chen gets a touch inside, a double comes on Strong. El Alfie misses mid-range.
You've seen Brooklyn Meyer playing off El Alfie there, shading towards Sarah Strong, daring El Alfie to take that 15-footer.
One and done on that trip.
So important for South Dakota State to get back in transition defense. We saw how lethal UConn was in their first-round matchup when they got numbers going on the fast break.
Huskies have missed their first 5 shots to start the night. Chen will try for 3, and they are 0 for 6, and that's going to be El Alfie over the back. This is a fabulous box-out Jackrabbit team.
They lead the nation in defensive rebound percentage at 78. They work on it. Coach said probably not every day in practice, but a couple times a week. They just work on boxing out, understanding how important it is to corral that defensive board.
Aaron Johnston's club, champs of the Summit. 3 straight undefeated conference seasons.
How composed has South Dakota State looked here on both ends of the floor? This crowd stands until UConn scores. It is loud. It can be intimidating.
They draw real well in Brookings for their home games and have played. This will be their 8th game of the season against a power team. Shot clock winding down here. Brooklyn Meyer blocked by Strong. And a shot clock violation.
UConn already going to their smaller lineup, which puts Sarah Strong on Brooklyn Meyer. Sarah is a very good defender here. Comes up, able to get her paws on the basketball. 5 blocks in the first-round matchup against Arkansas State for Sarah Strong.
Setting something up here. Fudd off the bounce. Everybody gets a touch. Strong has the ability to stretch the floor. It's an 0 for 7 start for the only team in the country that shoots 50% per game. And there is the breakthrough.
So what we saw from South Dakota State when El Alfie was on the floor, there was a player that they could play off of and did not have to defend out on the perimeter. That's not the case with the lineup UConn has on the floor now. There will be more spacing for cuts like we just saw from Sarah Strong.
Meyer weaving her way inside. Strong bothered the shot, but Paige still able to muscle it up and in.
What a finish on that one by Paige Meyer.
You come into this building in the postseason, you gotta hang in the opening quarter. And they are doing that and then some. Off the air ball, Mathewitz hits it for 3.
I could not be more impressed by South Dakota State and how they have come out here fearlessly to start this game.
8-2 to open things up. Fudd, nice wrap underneath.
Again, because you have to respect all 5 of the UConn players out on the perimeter. There's space now in the paint.
Mathewitz, the runner, won't go. Brooklyn Meyer able to clean it up after Byam got a piece of it. These are all upperclassmen. They have played in 3 or 4 NCAA tournaments in their careers. Fudd off the curl, draws the foul. And that's going to be on Paige Meyer. That would have been her second had they not changed that earlier foul.
South Dakota State, unafraid, with the 6-point lead against the UConn Huskies on their home floor. Paige Meyer with the tough drive. Mathewitz steps in confidently to her three. And then the floater coming in, offensive board, stick back for.
Let's check out how they are fueling the run, brought to you by Wendy's. And the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, 3 consecutive Summit Tournament titles. They have dominated that conference in their 13th trip to the NCAA. You were unwrapping Christmas presents more recently than they were losing basketball games. 20 in a row, and this starting 560 combined games in a Jackrabbit jersey, and this was the celebration after the upset of the 7-seed Oklahoma State in the first round. 25 years as a head coach for Aaron Johnson with a D2 national championship, and the formula has not changed. We recruit freshmen. We'll redshirt some of them. They stay, they play, nary a transfer on the roster. They grow together and they win together.
And you know what else they do together?
What's that?
Celebrate without pouring water on their coat.
Act like you've been there before.
No, I just appreciate that. Like, let the guys stay dry and happy. Dry and happy is better than soaking wet and happy.
And they are off to a good start here in the opening quarter, holding UConn to just 2 of 10 shooting.
For the most part, really handling UConn's full court pressure well. It does take them longer to get into their sets because of that full court pressure, and they're a team that runs great stuff in the quarter court.
So disciplined.
Great
There's
defense,
a turnover.
Arnold, yes.
Arnold in off the bench. Unprecedented depth for Connecticut in the 5 years that Paige Beckers has been in town. They're healthy. They can go a couple of deep along the front line and on the perimeter. Azzi Fudd stepping in the passing lane. And then are they going to get a foul on Fudd?
Well, Timmer did a great job. She just kind of stopped and sort of forced Azzi Fudd to run her over. Watch here. Fudd gets into the, and then Timmer steps in front of her. Oh, wow, that's a play on.
That's a loose ball, and that's her second foul. Fudd will stay on the floor.
Timmer does a savvy move, though, to step in front of her, so Fudd's momentum would make her crash into her and get the foul called.
Fudd had a huge game on Saturday. Becker's able to knock it loose. Shot clock's down to 5. Paige Meyer, pull up, no. Kept alive in the offensive board for Callie Tyson.
And this is where it can be dangerous for UConn to go with their small lineup, because as you see that Paige Beckers at the 4 is the one who has to box out Tyson, giving up some strength there.
That's going to be the first on Timmer. Second team foul on the Jackrabbits. Winner of this one advancing to the Sweet 16 in Spokane against Oklahoma. And the Sooners a big win today in the second round. Here's Fudd.
UConn's getting really good looks. They're 2 for 11 right now, but they have to be pleased with the looks that they're getting. And both Azzi Fudd and Paige Beckers at times have been hunting shots, and that's what you want from those two.
Beckers and Fudd a combined 1 for 5. Long rebound to Ashlyn Shade, coming off a 20-point performance against Arkansas State, as Beckers will get a trip to the free throw line, and this is a big one coming up, Rebecca.
Well, if Paige Beckers makes this first free throw, she will be a 90% free throw shooter on the season, which puts her in the 50-40-90 club in terms of efficiency. We have never seen a women's player in the college game, at least in the last 25 years, be 50-40-90 and lead the nation in assists to turnover.
And there it is.
And now that she's done it, we can show you the graphic. And what's pretty incredible, when you look across all of women's college basketball, men's college basketball, NBA, WNBA, there's not been a player to lead their league or the country in assist to turnover and also finish 50-40-90 with some qualifiers.
I think without the championship, yet with the injury she suffered. People don't fully comprehend the statistics that she has put up over the course of her career.
What a defensive set for KK Arnold.
4 defenders around Brooklyn Meyer, and it's a held ball. Stay at this end.
KK Arnold fighting over screens. I mean, what she's doing on the defensive end. She fights over the screen, and then after the switch happens, she's battling in the post, but even before the switch, fought over screen, fought over the screen, just working.
Timmer off the bounce and beats the shot clock buzzer as she gets by Beckers. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and the Jackrabbits are in front as Strong gets hit on the noggin, and she'll go to the line. That'll be the first on Brooklyn Meyer.
Really nice position and post up by Sarah Strong. A perfectly delivered entry pass into the post. She has such soft hands. She catches anything thrown in her vicinity and then just has the pause, waits for the shot blocker to come back down and draws the foul.
How about her NCAA tournament debut on Saturday? The first player in 25 years, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocked shots. 4 consecutive double-doubles. Her hottest play at the right moment.
I will be shocked if Sarah Strong is not voted the National Freshman of the Year. Yeah. Without question, the most deserving player of that award.
Full court pressure here after the make. Aaron Johnson has all the trust in the world in Paige Meyer to handle it.
Again, KK Arnold. KK Arnold has been a difference maker for UConn on the defensive end of the floor, has brought tremendous energy. This is the young woman before the first round game against Arkansas State that Coach Oram was like, get her off the
doghouse
and the shoot around. But she can be such a disruptor with the energy she brings. We saw that earlier this season when UConn lost to Tennessee. KK, he said she was the most competitive player on the floor in that game. She looks like that here as well for UConn.
21 solid minutes in the first round, may have more time today. Beckers will pull up, and Paige is able to knock it down, her first basket of the ball game.
Yeah, with a quick ball screen, she can get to the spot on the floor where she wants to get. And then great elevation, good size, can shoot over most defenders. There's Arnold again.
KK is changing this game right now for UConn.
KK Arnold has 0 points, 0 field goal attempts. It doesn't matter. She has changed the energy level for UConn. Gets to the spot on the floor, draws the foul. This is a different energy right now for the UConn Huskies because of this young woman.
That's her second foul drawn, and now she will bring it across midcourt. Beckers in the two-man game with Strong. Behind the back, into the lane, lays it up and in, and UConn grabs the lead.
So tough. That two-man game with those 2 players is so tough.
Vasika wide open for their 6th player. Returning from injury in time for the NCAA tournament.
Timmer's an Energizer bunny out there.
Oh, Meyer, nice hesitation off the fake. Jack's back in front. Final minute of this first quarter.
Two-man game again. I guess it's a 3-man game.
3-man. Brady was involved as well in the screen. Beckers hangs and hits and one.
Beth Mowins, we saw this out of Paige Beckers in the Big East tournament. When the opponent would make a run, she would just put it on her shoulders to counter it, and that's what we've seen the last few possessions. Here, just the lean, gets to the spot she wants. This is over a big player, draws the contact. Man, she's off balance. That's a tough finish.
119th game here at Connecticut. She is 45-1 at Gamble Pavilion in her home games in this, her final appearance in this storied hall. About a 7-second difference on the clocks. Myers' pass errant over the top, and now UConn can hold here for one.
Tyson had the size advantage on Paige Beckers, but Paige fought around, and then pass wasn't perfect, and UConn gets the turnover.
Huskies have hit 5 of their last 7 shots after the slow start. Running screens for Beckers to come get it up top of the key. Paige, 2-man again, was strong. The step back 3, and hits it! Five-point advantage. It was KK Arnold at the defensive end. Beckers at the other end for the 2-seed Huskies. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The second round is presented by Inuit TurboTax. Now this is Taxes.
Back in stores, Connecticut, Paige Beckers knows this is her last game of her career in Gamble Pavilion. She does not want it to be the last game of her career overall. She has scored UConn's last 10 points, and we've seen her do it in a myriad of ways, getting to the mid-range, getting to the rim, free throws, and then that step back 3 hitting her chest. She has come to play.
And they force a turnover to start out this second quarter. Already with more points than she had in that first round when she let the other hot hands go to work in the first half against Arkansas State. She's taken matters into her own hands here. Spins and hits her 5th shot in a row.
This is the type of mentality Connecticut is going to need from Paige Beckers to go deep into the tournament and potentially win a national championship.
In the paint, Brooklyn Meyer immediately double teamed. Strong and Ice Brady go to work on her. See if the Jackrabbits can rediscover their footing. They got off to a terrific start. Meyer's runner goes.
Wow, we've seen a couple really tough finishes from Paige Meyer because that was good defense by Caitlin Chen.
Paige now with 4 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists. After that last bucket, now up to 6. Inside Strong. Brooklyn Meyer Bulls. Meyer weaving her way inside, gets a body into Brady and draws the foul.
To start the second quarter, you see Paige Beckers tip the inbound, gets the steal, and then the turnaround fadeaway. We've seen just about everything she's got in her repertoire, and Paige Meyer has been terrific, especially driving to that right side.
Yes.
We saw her finish. Now she's getting to the free throw line. She's caused some real problems for UConn's defense.
She's their career assist leader, set a new single season mark with her performance in the opening round. She's their captain.
Casey Fudd now back on the floor for Paige Beckers. Fudd, remember, has 2 fouls.
Meyer has been shining in the postseason for the second year in a row. She was the Summit Tournament MVP. And she is holding things together for them here in the first half. Ashlyn Shade. And it's Brooklyn Meyer this time, no relation. Brooklyn in the trail, passed up the shot.
Smart, if you're South Dakota State, go right at AZ Fudd, see if you can get a 3rd foul.
They're gonna have to hustle now. Shot clock winding down, and a bad pass on the drive, and kick turns it over.
When Timmer got the basketball, she took 1 or 2 dribbles. She should have kept going right at AZ Fudd. See if you can get her to commit that 3rd.
Strong off the bounce. And out to Brady, the left-hander hits from 17. The 6'3" sophomore out of San Diego knocking it down. So many more pieces this year in the tournament for Gino to work with. The Final Four team a year ago, they went through USC to get there. They may have to go through USC again this year to get there. The top 2 seeds in their region. Strong, one-on-one. Timeout, South Dakota State. On their feet and Gamble.
One of the things that makes Sarah Strong the best freshman in the country is her versatility. An outstanding passer, delivers to Ice Brady, and then on the right block, just going to work with the...
Oh, that was fabulous. That Maryland win over Alabama earlier tonight. A tournament that has been primarily chalk, continuing into the Sweet 16. In the other 3 regions, all the 1 and 2 seeds have advanced. UConn and USC trying to move on as the 1 and 2 seeds in this region. South Dakota State trying to crash that party.
Since people don't really use chalk anymore, do we need to update that?
A whiteboard?
Phrasing?
It's been all whiteboard?
My brain. Kids aren't clapping erasers at recess anymore.
Paige Beckers with 14 to lead all scorers. She's back out there on the floor for UConn. And Paige Meyer with 8 to lead the way for the Jackrabbits. Brooklyn Meyer, they've held her in check offensively. A lot of doubles, a lot of help dropping down on the dig down there, and they forced their 9th turnover.
Well, that was UConn's primary point of emphasis defensively in their shoot-around today, is how they were going to handle Brooklyn Meyer, how they were going to park on her left shoulder, not let her go to her strong right hand, and then dig down, as we just saw from Caitlin Chen. They've done a really nice job limiting her offensively. She's still been able to get to the boards very well.
And how about the Jackrabbits putting the rookie on Beckers defensively? Strong going to work in the lane. Gets 2 more.
Sarah Strong just makes offense look easy.
South Dakota State got off to a good start in the first quarter. You got to do that. You also know you're going to have to take a punch. And right now, UConn swinging for a haymaker. This is an experienced team. They've had big games before and big moments. Paige Meyer rattles it in and out. Tyson had it knocked loose.
Sarah Strong can face the basket and shoot from 3. She can go back to the basket. Here we see some power and then just a step through footwork.
Oh, well executed on the inbound, and it's Vasika for 2. Azzi Fudd back out there as well for UConn. Second time she's gone to the reverse layup.
Azzi Fudd has looked incredibly confident so far in this NCAA tournament.
Just the 44th game in 4 years together with Beckers and Fudd out there on the floor. What a treat for Husky fans here at Gamble. And what a problem for opponents. Beckers left unattended. Money. 17 first half points.
Oh, is that on Azzi Fudd?
See who they call it on. No, they're going to get it on Chen instead. Her first. Under 5 to go in the first half.
The backcourt getting it done for the UConn Huskies. Azzi Fudd using the rim, finishing inside. Paige Beckers has 17 points on 8 field goal attempts. Come on now.
Let's check out how UConn is moving on, brought to you by United Airlines. Well, do they have all the championship puzzle pieces this year for title number 12? Well, they certainly have the coach who knows how to get it done, the all-time wins leader. They've got the superstar, Paige Beckers, big already tonight. They've got instant offense from Azzi Fudd, and they've got Strong in the middle. And for the first time in the Beckers era, they have depth. to support that big three. And will that be enough to get them back to the Final Four and to win it all? The BPI, the ESPN Analytics says yes. They have a 33% chance, followed by South Carolina. That could be a potential national championship matchup there on opposite sides of the bracket.
If you look at the last month of the season, the two teams on the ascent playing their best basketball of the year, night in, night out, South Carolina and the UConn Huskies. But those two teams have just been peaking at the right time, and the difference maker for UConn is Paige Beckers. Is she going to be the facilitator that we saw a little bit more in the first round, or is she going to be the woman that we've seen tonight, where multiple times there have been players she could pass to, and she's like, I'm taking it.
6 for 8, yeah. Remember last year in the tournament, she was spectacular. Only Caitlin Clark scored more points in the postseason than Beckers did. She was the Big East tournament MVP again this year for the third time. That has never happened before in Big East history. You think of all the Husky greats that have won Big East tournament titles. Beckers is at the top of the list. Under 5 to go here in the first half. KK Arnold now defending on Paige Meyer. 18 points off of turnovers for the Huskies, and it's been Arnold leading the charge.
And AZ Fudd in this small lineup is defending Mesa Byam, and Byam spent the entire possession on the perimeter. I would want her to post up AZ again, try to pick up that third.
They scored on their last out-of-bounds play underneath. Tyson takes it into the lane, and they'll score on this one too.
Nice take by Tyson inside over a smaller defender.
Aaron Johnston and his coaching staff so well in preparing this team. You know when a team's scoring off their set pieces, they're executing well. How about that pick and roll? Beckers to Strong. Maintaining the 12-point advantage, under 4 to go in the half. And a turnover there for the Jackrabbits. At least it's a dead ball.
How good has the Paige Beckers, Sarah Strong pick and roll been? You're going to see Sarah Strong set the on-ball screen. 2 defenders go with Paige Beckers. Well, how can you not? And then she delivers to the rolling Sarah Strong. They have been elite with that two-man game all half here tonight.
Beckers continues to work. Just incredible first half. 7 of 9, 19 points.
Hasn't missed from 3, hasn't missed from the free throw line. This is silly. What Paige Beckers is doing in this first half is just silly.
And that's in 15 minutes of floor time. Over the top to Meyer. Another held ball, and guess who again? It's KK Arnold.
Let's watch Paige Beckers do a little more magic. She fakes the handoff, just turns, drains the shot. Fake handoff, defense goes, just drains it. She's having herself a night.
Her swan song here at Campbell. Going out with a flurry. Arnold back to Beckers. The blow by, the pull up. Every weapon in the arsenal tonight for Paige Beckers. 21 in the half. And that's her best half ever here. Fitting to do it at the finish line. Meyer on the drive, knocked loose. Shade gets it right back from Beckers. Bang. And just like that, up to 19 points. Jackrabbits looking for something positive here to close out the half, and that's not it. Strong walks her way in, and now Aaron Johnston has to call the timeout.
Paige Beckers has 21 points and has shown very little celebration on her own makes. Watch her here. She passes. Her reaction when Ashlyn Shade hits the three. That's the UConn way. You do not celebrate yourself, but you celebrate the heck out of your teammates. Paige Beckers leading the way.
Under 2 minutes to go. And her most prolific first half in a UConn jersey, and this her final home game, almost matching South Dakota State's total. And remember, they started out the game 1 for 9, and now they're shooting nearly 60% for the half. And Vasika, the reach-in foul on KK.
How about the toughness from the freshman, though? Katie Vasika, we've seen her defend Paige Beckers at times in this game. She's 6'2" long, good defender. That time she's handling the basketball against a menace of KK Arnold.
That's her first. Timmer. Here comes the double. And Beckers with a foul and an and one for the Jackrabbits.
Great use just of the head and shoulder fake. First of all, the South Dakota State post players are very good interior passers, and we saw Brooklyn Meyer deliver it there.
That's their 6th-year captain, Callie Tyson. It's been a challenge, you know. Aaron Johnston talked to us about trying to keep up with the pace of UConn, not just their offense, but their defense. And the Huskies showing it all off here in the first half. Beckers short on the shot. Vasika will run some point with Paige Meyer out right now. Meyer gets a touch. The dig down from the guard. Shade knocking it loose. And it's UConn basketball. Final minute of the first half. They've taken Brooklyn Meyer away. She's 1 for 4, 2 points here in the first 20 minutes.
She's drawn so much defensive attention every time she's caught the ball in the paint.
Back to Beckers. Fancy footwork, short on the jumper. And an injury on the play to Brooklyn Meyer. I think she said it's my ankle. Athletic trainers out to assist. The junior from Larchwood, Iowa. A player of the year in the Summit, a defensive player of the year in the Summit.
Ooh. Yeah, you see her left foot land,
there, yep.
yeah, on her teammate's foot and just go over.
They'll walk her right back to the locker room here with just 30 seconds to go in the half.
She is so important to South Dakota State's success on both ends of the floor. Terrific rebounder. They try to play through her on the offensive end. Can score. We've seen that she's a good passer. Hope that she can come back in the second half.
Hope she's back for the final 20 minutes. Vasika hounded by Arnold. Timmer keeps that dribble alive and blocked out of bounds. 11 on the shot clock, 14 on the game clock.
UConn's defense has been very, very good, and Shade comes in there and moves her feet, stays between the player and the basket.
Timmer gets up the three and hits it. Last shot for Connecticut. Arnold coast to coast and around and out. What a first half performance from Paige Beckers on 8 for 12 shooting. 21 points in her final home game here at Gampel Pavilion. And Beckers getting buckets for the Huskies. That'll take care of the first half here in Stores. Now to the studio with Elle, Chane, and Andrea. Paige Beckers, as she bows out her final home game at Gampel, and she is making it a memorable one. Has scored or assisted on 26 points in the first half. Big lead for the Huskies. Winner of this one advances to the Sweet 16. They'll take on Oklahoma in Spokane next weekend. Beth Mowins alongside Rebecca Lobo. I mean, she got on a heater in that first half, and there was nothing the Jacks could do about it.
Earlier this season, Coach Oriama called Paige Beckers the most unguardable player in the country, and she certainly looked like that in the first half. And it just wasn't her 21 points. It was the variety of ways in which she did it. Pull-up jumpers, step-back threes, fadeaway jump shots. She also got in on the action with assists, 2 in that first half, including this one that just fired her up like we hadn't seen at any other point in that half.
Tonight's game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ. And after the slow start for UConn, they hit 15 of their last 21. It was a big first half for Beckers. Turnovers, a huge problem. Connecticut, 25 points off of turnovers. Now, yeah, they may change the name to Paige Pavilion after this, but good news for the Jackrabbits. Brooklyn Meyer is back out there to start this second half after the ankle injury late in the first half. Number 31 in blue. Paige Meyer on the drive. And it's UConn ball.
Turnovers have been a big problem for South Dakota State so far. 14 in the first half. Need to take care of the basketball.
Easy Fudd, mid-range, no. Chen able to take it away, back to Beckers, pull up, hits it. Points off of turnovers, stacking up. Meyer across midcourt. Byam, baseline, got strong up in the air, but couldn't finish. Chen with the push. Look at Strong running the floor out in front. That's your big girl going end to end for the freshman. Enjoying one of the best freshman seasons ever here at Connecticut. Meyer scores inside.
She really does have a knack of scoring over bigger defenders. Uses her shoulders well to protect the ball.
Fudd off the crossover to the right side. Here comes Paige Meyer. Timmer finds a little space. Fudd's pass picked off.
Only UConn's third turnover, and all 3 are easy Fudds.
Number 1 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio, and there's Byam. South Dakota State trying to work their way back into it.
UConn starts its shoot-around with a rim-running drill from their post players. And what do we see here? As soon as Connecticut corrals the ball, Sarah Strong runs the floor, beats the defense down, and finishes. You love to see that from your post player.
Coming back out top for three and hits that. Paige Beckers with 26. The double on Meyer, and she turns it over. That's her 7th.
UConn with terrific ball movement, making sure multiple players touch it. And then Paige, I mean, have we seen her this confident in terms of looking for her own shot?
She's hunting tonight. Here's another one on the way. Former National Player of the Year, 3 times the Big East Player of the Year. She'll pick up her 3rd All-American honor this year. AP already says so, one of the 5 best. If she wins here, if Juju wins tonight, all 5 will advance to the Sweet 16. The star power in the women's game as Chen knocks down a J.
Paige Beckers, the penetrate and kick. Myers has to take a step towards her. Chen stepping in, hitting that. That will be a huge key for Connecticut, not only tonight, but going forward. Caitlin Chen, KK Arnold, Ashton Shade, their ability to drain shots from the perimeter, keep defenders honest.
That's a held ball. It will go to UConn. Strong. Got the right angle to feed Brady inside. Assist Sarah Strong. That's her 3rd.
She's a terrific passer, whether it's to back cuts to Paige Beckers or high-low to the post, and that was a really nice job by Ice Brady holding the seal inside.
Paige Meyer, there's Fudd on the switch. Paige gets into the lane, triple team, ball's loose. Turnover. Beckers on the run. Missed it. Comes back in bounds, gets both feet in to get him another possession, and a dive to the rim by Strong. 10-0 UConn run. Vasika swatted out of bounds by Strong. Midway through the 3rd, UConn in charge.
Sarah Strong, we've talked about her on the offensive end of the floor. Another block for the big girl.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. It is brought to you by Nissan, Power Forward. Some of the highlights so far of this NCAA tournament. Lauren Betts and UCLA moving on. So is Haley Van Lith. First ever Sweet 16. It's TCU's greatest season in school history. And a valiant effort from Barker and Alabama. 45 points, but it's Maryland who survives tonight in double overtime. So here is Regional 4 Spokane. K-State's in. They'll face the winner of our next game coming up tonight, USC Mississippi State. And Oklahoma is in, awaiting the winner of this matchup. Those games will be Saturday night on ESPN.
How good has Oklahoma looked?
Really good.
During this NCAA tournament, Skylar Vann has just had an offensive resurgence.
Shot clock's winding down. They got a jack. Shot clock violation, second one of the day. Forced by this UConn defense that has just been dynamite, forcing 19 turnovers, scoring 31 points off of those takes. And of course, a huge night for Paige Bueckers with 26 points so far. That's another 25-point outing for Paige, and look at that. Tied with Maya Moore for the most in the last 25 seasons. That doesn't go all the way back to the Lobo days. Would you be on that list of 25-point games?
I don't think so.
Step back, got it. Paige is 11 for 17. Second violation.
I mean, look at how energized the Connecticut defense still is here with just 4 minutes left in this third quarter. The way they're denying the inbounds pass to get the 5-second violation. This is a team that just looks as fresh right now as they did in the first quarter.
Just relentless. Strong. Brady looking to throw over to the top. And Bueckers sensed that the foul was coming, and I thought she got the shot up to make it a shooting foul.
Like, as I'm watching Paige Bueckers tonight, I'm thinking, I think she's showed everything she has in her offensive arsenal, and then she does a post-up alley-oop type of play.
Yeah, that should be free throws.
Yeah, sure.
At any rate, it's the fourth foul on Timmer, and Buecker will just hang and hit two from the floor instead.
And it looked like after she hit it, she looked over at Coach Oriama with like a head nod.
Got her season high now with 28. Make it 30. She is shooting 67% from the floor tonight.
Just comes, hunts the basketball, elevate, fade, finish. Do we get to see the look over at Coach? There it is one more time. Then a little head nod. Maybe a day late happy birthday to Coach Oriama from Paige.
Fifth year out of Hopkins, Minnesota. Has really only played 3.5 years due to injuries. Here she is looking for more. Scooped it up and in. Tough shot. Arnold with a rebound. Pagemeyer in the trail, hits the three.
Little defensive miscommunication by UConn on that defensive lay-in. Meyer does a nice job stepping in and draining it. Paige Bueckers giving the official an earful as she was coming up the floor. She was frustrated the last possession. She didn't get a foul called.
Arnold with a nice cut to the bucket, count it. KK to the line.
We've talked so much about the impact KK Arnold has had on the defensive end, and they're just a smart head and shoulder fake. Draw the contact, yeah, just gets Mathewitz on her toes leaning. That's enough to get the foul called.
And her impact is, that's only her first basket. If not for Paige's outburst, she'd be up for player of the game with all the other things she's been doing.
She changed the energy and the momentum in the first half with her defensive intensity.
There she is on Meyer. Mathewitz had the 2 early threes, quiet since. She'll try here. Good box out by Ice Brady.
And look at her run the floor.
Fudd. Not that time. Down the left side. Vasika. Arnold, Page in the trail and goes all the way to the rim with it. Arnold was looking for her the whole way.
Page turns around, points right at KK. Way to say thank you for the assist.
32 for Beckers. And that's going to be Brady over the top.
Paige Beckers can get some speed behind her, and you see her here running the floor. KK turning, looking, pitching back to her, and a little fancy finish at the end for Paige Beckers, continuing to score in ways that we haven't yet seen in this game. Every single one of her buckets has come in a different way. Every single one.
Yep. She will head to the bench. Big hand from the crowd. Crowd assuming and hoping that they may see her for a minute or two in the fourth quarter.
There have been many games this season where Paige Beckers did not see the floor in the fourth.
Final minute of this third. As we continue to fill up spots for the Sweet 16. North Carolina Tar Heels have moved on. Their game has gone final, so you're going to have Duke and Carolina in a Sweet 16 showdown. There's Flood for three. Just torching the Nets. They're close to 60% shooting. Brooklyn Meyer, and a foul on Strong. That'll send Meyer to the line. She's making her mark in this NCAA tournament. Only Brooklyn Meyer, Lauren Betts, and Reagan Beers average 16 a game and shoot 60%. As we remind you that our coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Championship continues. CBS, TBS, and True TV. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Final shot of the quarter. And it belongs to Fudd, and she knocks it down. The party is underway in Stores. Huskies doubling up the Jackrabbits. On a memorable night for Paige Beckers. She's going out at home in style. 32 points in her swan song at Gamble. We take a look around the Paige Beckers Museum and her UConn career. So many accolades, big moments for the three-time Big East Player of the Year. Missed a year and a half due to injury and has come back so strong. She was the National Player of the Year, the only freshman to ever win it back in 2021. Has been to the Final Four every year she's been healthy with one shot at a championship. And can she hang it in the Louvre? That's the only thing missing from the Beckers Museum here at UConn. And this, her final home game. I think the crowd hoping to get one more glimpse of her on the floor. She won't start out this third quarter in a big UConn lead with 10 minutes to go to a 31st consecutive Sweet 16. To put that into perspective, on the men's side, the record is 13 in a row from North Carolina. The Jackrabbits were right there for a quarter, and then just an onslaught from UConn. But what a season for South Dakota State. 30 wins. Another upset of a power conference team in the tournament. They beat Oklahoma State on Saturday. And what a moment for them. They've talked a lot and a lot of smiles about the opportunity to play in this arena with so much history here and to challenge themselves against the best.
This is a South Dakota State team I've really enjoyed watching from afar, and thrilled to finally get to call them in the first round. And then here they play such a fun style of basketball. The way they move the ball, share the ball, move and cut. And the unfortunate thing for them in facing UConn in the second round is UConn is used to this style.
Yeah.
Playing in the Big East Conference, you have teams like Creighton and Villanova that prepare you to defend this type of basketball. But South Dakota State has been a treat to watch over the course of time, and in particular this season.
Meyer to Meyer. Yeah, Aaron Johnson, when we asked him, you know, what do you hope people take away from watching the Jackrabbits, and Griffin scores inside, he talked about value. Valuing people, valuing experiences, valuing their time together. Again, no transfers on this roster. So many of them homegrown. They earn their playing time. They stay and play together. And for a player like Paige Meyer, what a career. It may be coming to an end tonight, but memories of a lifetime with their domination of the Summit League over the years. And just ran into a showstopper tonight in Beckers, and everybody getting in on it for Connecticut.
Seen Aubrey Griffin the last couple of times offensively, getting things done. And Coach Orama talked to us today and before the first round game as well. And he said, you know, she can just change a game in 2-minute spurts, and she's certainly had it in effect here since she's come into the game.
Got a whistle and a stoppage here. Their third 30-win season in history. They have won their last 20 games, have not lost since before the holidays. They dominated the Summit once again. And of course, Brooklyn and Paige Meyer. What a tandem they've been all year long. A hand for Sarah Strong as she departs. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. She appears to have next here at Connecticut.
She also has now.
Emily Fox checking into the ball game here. Shot clock's winding down. They got to hustle. And they will not get it up. That's their third shot clock violation.
Well, as impressive as UConn has been on the offensive end of the floor, where they're shooting 61%, they have been so tight on the defensive end as well, forcing the Jacks into 23 turnovers.
Ties their season high. As they inch closer to a matchup with Oklahoma in the Sweet 16. Whew, that's 2 of the top scoring teams in the country that are getting ready to get after it in Spokane next Saturday night. Ooh. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Tyson just being aggressive, and she should not have extended the arm there, because that's why she got the foul. But posts up strong, and then just you see her, yeah, lead with the left arm before she does the counter move.
Turnover there as UConn fans start to look forward. This is the potential road if the seeds hold. This is what remains in front of Connecticut. Oklahoma, possibly USC, UCLA, and another. They might have to beat 3 of the 4 #1 seeds to win a title.
That was really nice play and a great pass by Brooklyn Meyer, showing once again one of the things that makes her such a tough post player.
Emily Fox got the bucket.
See the ball come into Meyer, and she just reads it and sees it, knows that there's a back screen coming up top. And delivers it perfectly. That's a tough, tough pass.
And at the other end, the 5th foul on Timmer as Paige Beckers checks back into the ball game. So the fans will get one more look at her in her final home game here at Gamble. About to go to 46-1 in this building. Notre Dame, the only team that came in here and beat her. Beckers to inbound. Fudd for 3. These two finally playing together. Former high school players of the year, Fudd and Beckers. Sidetracked by injuries throughout, and now a chance to go for a championship together. 3 is good for Meyer. And KK Arnold is at the scorer's table set to check in, so Becker's big moment might be coming up shortly. Good hustle by Griffin. Beckers to Chen. Meyer, whistle, and this may be it. Does Arnold check in for Paige Beckers with 32 points in her finale? One last look. And with a timeout on the floor, we'll be back after this. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Two of the best players in all of women's college basketball.
Yeah, it all starts right now.
Beautiful move and the finish for Juju. Watkins can't be stopped. Beckers, cut it.
Paige Beckers is just built different.
That's good juju right there.
She is unstoppable.
Beckers remains in the game here for Connecticut, and they are on a collision course. Last year in the Elite Eight, it was Beckers knocking out Watkins. Juju and SC got a win head-to-head in the regular season this year. And Juju is on deck against Mississippi State. That matchup coming up next.
What a delight it's been to watch both of those young women all throughout the course of this season. Lauren Betts as well, Hannah Hidalgo, Madison Booker. Those are all members of the first team AP All-American.
And these may be the final moments on the Gamble Pavilion court for Paige Beckers, a sub over at the scorer's table.
The ovation that she is going to get.
Some say I do my best work when I lay out, Rebecca, so I'm getting ready to do just that.
I'm not going to touch that.
Beckers adds to the total. 34 on the night. Timeout, Gino. Oh, he wanted a timeout to try and sub her out there. That ties her career high, by the way, and there's a foul by Arnold to get Paige her moment, and here you go. A career night on her final night here at Gamble. Tears in her mother's eyes.
Aubrey Griffin, Caitlin Chen, their last game as well as they come out.
She joins Diana Taurasi and Maya Moore as the only Huskies with 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists. still hoping to join those two as a national champion. A lot of work to do, but they have taken care of business here in the first 2 rounds. And it's been pretty much the favorites moving on to the Sweet 16, which is good news for women's basketball fans, because the Associated Press All-America team, all 5 of them, if Juju wins tonight, all 5 will be in the Sweet 16 next weekend, including, of course, Paige Bueckers and UConn.
3 of them are sophomores.
Yeah.
We've got a lot more basketball to watch from those 3.
Arnold adds to the tally for Connecticut. Yeah, Bueckers, Juju, Betts, Hidalgo, Madison, Booker. Hey, for the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more info, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships, building towards the Final 4 in Tampa and the national championship game on April 6th. Student section has turned out in their return from spring break. Apparently didn't take too much out of them, because they're back in full throat here tonight.
It took 6 minutes, that's it, for UConn to sell out their allotment of student tickets, all 1,500 of them. 6 minutes gone.
Ice Brady and a foul.
They've spent spring break studying up for the rest of the semester, Beth Owens. I don't know what you were doing in Syracuse, but
sure they were inside most of the time. Rebounded by Ellie Colbeck. On the floor, Hillary Behrens is out there. Some of the other Jackrabbits getting an opportunity to hit the floor. Jenna Hopp also in the ball game. Huskies also have Allie Zabel out there. Cadence Samuels. Big moment for all those folks, all the hard work they've put in throughout the course of the season. Jackrabbits will close it out 30-4, winners of 20 of their last 21 games. Another championship season. Meyer and Meyer just spectacular together all year long. Memory of an upset over Oklahoma State in the first round and a chance to take on Connecticut here at Gampel in the second. Final minute. And moments away from getting you out to Los Angeles for Mississippi State and USC. For Gino Auriemma, let's see, the win total now jumps up to 138-24 in the NCAA tournament. Winners of 85% of his games over 40 years.
Over on the bench, just frustrated with that last foul and then the turnover, but said it many times, no one prepares their team better for March than Coach Gino Auriemma. Coach Gino Auriemma, 11 national championships, 15 of the last 16 Final Fours. It is just ridiculous.
Hop rebounds her own miss, tries again and gets the lefty land. And gets a standing O from her teammates. outstanding career for Paige Meyer, the senior from Albany, Minnesota. Their career assist leader. But the night belongs to Connecticut, and Paige Beckers in her final home game ties her career high with 34 points. They force 25 turnovers and score 35 off of them. And for the 31st year in a row, UConn is moving on to the Sweet 16. (91-57) the final. AZ Fudd adds 16. Sarah Strong with 15, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. KK Arnold changed the course of the game with her defense in the second quarter. So we have 15 of the Sweet 16 filled in, just one spot remaining for 2 regionals in Spokane and 2 regionals in Birmingham. And Paige Beckers, as they always do post-game, heading over to the student section. And here is a look at Regional 4 in Spokane. And the top of the bracket as well. And the 2 1 seeds, UCLA and USC, still awaiting that final spot. And over on the other side, the Sweet 16 is complete. Carolina, Maryland, Carolina, Duke, Texas, Tennessee, and Notre Dame, TCU. And keeping our eyes on Paige Beckers, and she may be going over to the microphone to address the crowd here.
On behalf of our seniors, our whole entire team, I've had the time of my life here. It's been the 5 years I've dreamt of as a kid. I can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough for all the support. Thank you for making a second home. Best supporters in the country. Thank you for this season, for everything. We love you. I love you. This will always be a home, and we'd love to see you in Spokane, but thank you for everything.
Nice moment with Paige Beckers addressing the crowd here at Gamble Pavilion in her final home game. They win it 91-57. She ties her career high with 34. And what a day it's been for the seniors and for Paige Beckers. The Capital One rewarding performance. Getting ready, gearing up. Sharing a moment pregame here with the fans. The last introduction to the home folks, and then just started hunting shots right away. Ends up 14 for 21, celebrating her teammates, and here's Paige's last basket at Gamble Pavilion. Naturally, it goes in. And what a moment as she salutes the crowd and checks out of a game for the final time. Your emotions, Paige, as you sit with us courtside, and what the last 5 years has been like, and how this fan base sends you on your way to try and win that national championship.
Yeah, the emotions haven't hit me in a wave yet. I almost got emotional before the game today. just listening to gospel, and just being in a state of gratitude for everything that's come my way, come our way as a team. I'm just extremely grateful for the teams this year, last year, my whole entire 5 years, my teammates, my relationships, the journey, the injuries. Like, I'm just grateful for it all, and the support here is second to none. I just love playing here. I love wearing this jersey. We all love wearing this jersey, and it's just an honor to play here.
You came out hunting shots and hunting your own offense, and then you kept hunting all game long. And what was your mindset coming into this game in terms of what you wanted to see from yourself on the offensive end?
Just being aggressive. As a team, we want to stay aggressive. I thought we played that way the first game, and we want to continue that in the second game. But just trying to do anything it takes to win, read what the defense is giving us, staying aggressive, contribute to winning, and just take the open shots that we're given.
You've had opportunities, been at the Final Four, played for a national championship. We were talking about it, and a lot of folks think you guys are finally full, you're finally healthy. Your thoughts on if you have all the pieces to win a championship?
We're just trying to take it one game at a time, one practice at a time, one rest day at a time, one travel day at a time, and just soak it in and embrace it, and try to continue to keep playing for 40 minutes and maximize the time that we have left. We have confidence. A lot of teams are playing for a national title, and we know that, so we just have to keep chipping away and keep being the best version of ourselves every day.
All right, well, congratulations. Thank you so much, Paige. We appreciate it. And Paige Beckers and the UConn Huskies and Gina Auriemma all moving on to the Sweet 16 as they beat South Dakota State and advance to the Sweet 16 for the 31st year in a row. As Beckers takes it all in, catching her breath. She's earned a bit of a break. And what a performance it was. Gino, as you sit down with us, you've kind of been watching her throughout the day, and she just